Welcome. I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if anybody's even listening. Like these voices in the background makes them feel virtually not alone. Your host, General Griswold Gaius, member of the First Blood Regression Protocol and a member of the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. On behalf of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency, as the film, we have some all-stars in the hive mind today.
How about that? That's right. No, stop it. Don't play it.
You just came back.
Oh, God, no. All right, fine.
From your first holiday in
a Modern Wisdom Cinema production. Holy smokes, bro. He's taking it serious. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Monday's episode. It's Monday? Yeah. Public rituals. Wow. I don't know. Is that you only doing one topic because you did the title the same as the thumbnail? Yeah. Maybe that's what this is. Welcome, guys. We got a card for the show. As you know, we started doing that and nobody told us to stop. Sometimes it's fun. That card of this show is the Nine of Spades, for whatever that's worth. And here's some of this.
So let's see. I'm gonna go and flying blind here. I don't have any script, so I have ideas, but no script.
And can I just, from you, Alex, just understand, is this a major reason why you don't believe in God? I.e., the problem of evil is for you a major objection to God?
Yeah, call it not an active cause of my atheism, but a sustaining cause. It wasn't the reason why I left the faith originally, but it's one of the reasons that prevents me from re-entertaining the idea. I mean, as we've discussed, there are plenty of seemingly plausible arguments to say that there's a necessary being at the bottom of continuing
That was a fun time in my life. Oh.
Contingent chains in the universe, that there's a being who sustains things, there's an arbitrary first cause or something like this. But to say that this first cause is a loving God who will preside over the kind of suffering that we see not just in the human context of something like the coronavirus, but also the hundreds of billions and trillions, if you include sea life, animals who are going through suffering that we wouldn't even be capable of imagining.
I speak for the krill. I speak for the krill. Can I eat ice cream all the time? That's not fair. You're Indian fair, but I speak for the krill. Chris. Cow.
Chris, dude.
Chris the cow.
Is this a major reason why you don't believe in?
I speak for the krill.
Oh, this was probably scary. I don't know. It's like reliving the glory days of Tilk.
Your father have
It's really funny. It's a common thing, actually. You go to a lot of practitioners, and they'll say, "This isn't a religion, but there's going to be beliefs, symbols, and practices all the way through this." I don't think you're going to avoid the religion quite so easily. So atheism, we're just saying.
I'm probably going to have to cut the whole thing for copyright reasons anyway. We're going to do some, what was it? Public rituals, like savings throws. I'm still missing the survival die, and it bothers me so that I'm going to let the self die step in for the survival role. I don't know the fundamentals behind it, but it is sort of a reddish orange. So... Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. You choose, I roll. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control that follows. If it's under 10, you take full damage. But remember, Embody, we want what's best for you. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Oh. Now, the goal I have for doing these savings throws is truly something along the lines of like somebody who participates in the hive mind one day, like being presented, someone comes up and starts giving them this spiel, and like internally a voice in their head says, "Man, I need a savings throw against this." That's the entire purpose of why I do savings throws. Survival, social, wisdom, heart. Survival with the self-substitute coming in with a 4. Socialists. That's a 7 for you today. Lovers of wisdom. Oh no. That's it's not a nat 1. It's a 3. You can make it with bonuses. Hard folks, you're doing well today. That's a 16, pair of 8s. And Indigo guys, that's a pair of 7s for you. Welcome to the show. I don't know. Cool. All right. Hey, turn that off. Would you? Fine, do the shanty. We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Just lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency. Hey, look, I'm in that costume today. Hey, look, I'm in that costume today. Before we get to public rituals, let's go with a personal insight from our very own Gavin.
Upset the calm, upset the peace. I've done this my entire life. Use this word like heretikos, and it would mean someone who divides. And I find that throughout my life, I'll say things which upset the calm, upset the peace. I've done this my entire life. And then the question in my heart, like the question I raised to you and to God, is when I share my observations honestly, with kindness, gentleness, patience, I'm carrying a load and I can unload. I guess that's what I'm doing, is unloading. And I have to be careful about when I unload. I don't want to just unload everything like on my 7-year-old son. So like literally, like if I was carrying 200 pounds, if I were to hand that off to my 7-year-old son, it would break him, it would hurt him. And so
Yes, Gavin, realizing that those of us who make keen observations carry great burden, a burden that we can't just throw off onto people without their consent. You have to give them savings throws or something. Hey, Cassandra, good to see you. Franco, I know, low attendance today. It doesn't hurt my feelings in anything. Hey, McMo, I ran your thing at the front there. 69, good to see you. Okay. So now we're gonna go into the public rituals bit. I don't. There's a thing about social capital. If you're a member of the X post Twitter, whatever, what do you call it? The thing, the thing with the guy. This one. If you're over there, and on our secret, virtually not alone community over there, you'll know that I shared a post in that community that says, this is what cashing in your social capital looks like. And what I did was I took the latest of the Baba Wanyama, and I'm like, hey there, corner folks. Like, I can't beat my savings throws in this. And I need evidence that we're not a limited hangout that can't talk about this stuff. And by cashing in my social capital, what I did was I pinged pretty much everybody that's on Twitter related to the TLC, like the big ones, the big dogs. And then also Sevilla and Byrne. And I was like, all right, because when you tag somebody, the way it's cashing in social capital is, it's like this, is when you tag somebody, it's publicly trying to summon them into your attention sphere. And one of the early mistakes people make when we treat everyone alike is that you can do that willy-nilly. And it's especially the first time you ever do it to somebody, you're saying, hey, not only do I know you well enough to know what you find interesting and would pay attention to, but I'm also asking you to weigh in on my come make an appearance on my social media feed. And so it's a big ask, really, each time you add somebody. And if you don't recognize the weight of that, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe I don't know social layers. But anyway, since I tag all of these folks, if they don't respond, it does the flag burning of "we don't pay attention to you anymore, sir." And since I noticed Verveki unfollowed me over there, and it makes me sad. But it also means he probably got a good PR team finally, and that's good. That's good. Oh dear.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
Nah, sure. It's fine.
There is no agency. We want what's best.
Now, you may have, if you've been around, you know I've dropped a little Baba Wanyama here and there before, and the thing of it is he's got the I don't know, pretty much my worldview, except it's him selling it. So it's really disharmonious, dysfunctional situation. But in the latest video he dropped, he pretty much nailed all the highlight points of the stuff, of the topics that I would like to see addressed by Christianity in general and this little corner specifically. And I elucidated when I tagged the fellas that, like, you know, the symbolism stuff covered. I'd like, where's the Pachoo take, the Pachoo take on that symbolism. I need the Verveki crew to just like rip it apart for all the woo that it is, and the nonsense and the spiritual bypassing and self-deception. I'd like that all ripped apart. And for the like, what happens when your pastor of a local church comes at you with this, or when the congregate comes to a pastor of a local church with this Baba Wanyama stuff? I think like Pastor Paul kind of helps equip pastors for like that's like this the salt water of the estuary gets sifted out, and like Pastor Paul is an exemplar of how to deal with the estuary salt water, or tries to be. And right now, this limited hangout of pretending these topics don't exist seems to be the approach of but to the extent I exist, I am going to now broach those subjects, and fascinatingly and conveniently, I became aware of True Stream Media's, you know, that fancy duo of journalists that featured my tweet that one time. They came out with a great release, and they both fit together quite nicely, as I hope to demonstrate shortly.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room?
I want to cast Magic Missile.
A
room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet.
I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Well, this Baba boy, he's got the whole like actually helping people in the world thing. He nails like the Jesus story being in our bodies, as well as in the history, as well as in the sky, and the whole it's us versus the beast. So that God can, like, we clean our antenna, we can hear God better. That advocacy, those issues, like the person himself, other than like the hey, this is how you do internet grifting, buddy. But the topics and stuff he brings up, are diffuse them for me. They're stuck in my head. I don't see the counters to them. David Walker got a bearded dragon yesterday, and now can often stroke his lizard. He's never had a reptile before, but can now study the behavior of our overlords and the way they think. When you yama, you better Baba Fett. What is Baba? Yeah. You'll see in a second. 69. It's a fractal stories, and fractals aren't a joke. And it's really hard to see the whole fractal when you're writing a part of it. Right? Hey, let's do a nice long branding and then get into it, shall we? Not the branding. Let's do branding. I want the train. I love the train. Okay. We got Atlantis or Hyperborea. Before I get into it, actually, there's this one other bit. I don't know if you guys know Demir, right? He's the one who caught my Muggle Eye clip and therefore my attention. Behold the hello, I see the assassins have failed. And he's got this bit. I came across the thing and I want him to see it. And maybe if he's watching this, he'll see it. And if not, we can find it for him. But he does this. You got the playlist for it, don't you, John? Here, hey, let's look over on this page. Everybody can see what we're doing and play along. It's very nice. All right, he's got this playlist. Where is astrology playlist? Yes. Where he does all this stuff. This one. Here's one. All right, so he does this sort of thing, right? And what happened was, oh my God, where is it? This one. So what happened was, is what actually what got my click out of the home screen offering from YouTube was this fella, and half of the reason was he was playing with this toy, and I wanted Demir to know it exists. So check out this toy there he's using.
The sun, there's the moon there, and there's the earth all in a perfect line. So it is a new moon where the moon blocks the sun and creates that eclipse shadow on the planet. But what's interesting here, if you look at the planetary geometry, is that there's in general kind of a loose line between Jupiter, Mars, Earth, Venus, and
so like, hey, Demir, check out the toy that guy uses. That guy is the guy that caught my attention when the Schumann resonance that comes out of Russia went all funky, and he's doing well. And I thought I'd run the front of his thing for you guys. He's an interesting cat.
The energy increase has begun. The equinox approaches. The Russell-McFerrin effect is now in play. New energy ejections are happening on this planet and new waves of light energy are coming in. And this all translates to changes to the electromagnetic spectrum, the Schumann resonances, and these interact with our biology, our DNA, our water, the telluric currents, the ionosphere of the Earth. So in today's video, we're going to go over all of that. We're going to look at the recent Schumann resonances activity to start, and then we'll go into some other things. Think about as all this unfolds all the way through the end of October, and we will look at the solar eclipse and the partial lunar eclipse that we have in October on the 14th and on October 28th and 29th.
As you know, that I think the reason that actually caught my click was because, as you know, we're doing an eclipse event next April. Right after the Kansas City thing, we'll be trekking it to Bosque Del, Illinois, where the eclipse this time's path will cross over the eclipse last time's path. We're going to be in the center of the cross in Bosque Dale. It's going to be fun. According to David Walker, once you understand the symbols of the planets, which, if you're honest, learning never ends, transits are what you want. Once you understand the symbols of the planets, transits are what you want to learn. That's where the deadly accurate predictions happen. And now maybe we'll get into that a little bit. Well, first, here's the bit from the Baba Wanyama part that's relevant to today's discussion, but like he's got all of it in this video. But here's the part I want to focus on today.
I've said it recently that on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, World War II was called off. The armistice began. These are all Masonic power numbers. They are all taking place inside our mainstream world events, major events. And we must look at that as a coincidence and ask what's going on. But one of the things that also goes on is that they use ceremony. The Romans built the Colosseum to ensure that the masses were distracted as they were sending them off to war to benefit the minority, to worship the god of Caesar, or the god of whoever the emperor was at the time. So they distracted them with games. And in our modern world, it is also definitely so that we are distracted by games. And some of the ceremonies for these games make you raise an eyebrow. The 2012 Olympics opening ceremony took place in London. London is of profound significance to the New World Order agenda. It always will be, and I'll explain why in a moment. But the 2012 Olympic ceremony was a big deal in the realm of believing that these religions are doing what they are. It would be a big deal to set up what's coming. In that ceremony, a huge puppet that looked like Boris Johnson sat up from an NHS hospital bed. This ceremony was steeped in this strange symbology. Boris Johnson then sits up in the middle of the pandemic on national television in the UK, and everybody believed deeply this pandemic, not even the leader of our country can escape it. We're all in danger. We must do what they say. We're all in this together. Beyond there.
So there's that bit from there that counts. Now, conveniently for me, TrueStream's fresh drop is kind of fancy. Let's see. Here, let's start with this.
But CNN obviously doesn't.
Stop it. Over here. All right, I'll go back to the front, and I'll play it
randomly.
But CNN obviously doesn't do a lot of, I guess, what I would call journalism, because it didn't really take me that long at all to find this article in Pravda, where it says right here, this is a Ukrainian sculpture being born through fire. It's about Ukraine and each of us and how we've become stronger than ever. Vitaly Deneha? I'm probably saying his name wrong. The founder of Come Back Alive Foundation, who is currently the Deputy Minister of Defense in Ukraine, writing about this on Facebook. Level and the bringing about of this new digital age for humanity, this new world that's being brought about by Silicon Valley. It makes all kinds of sense when you read it on a symbolic level. We started studying it because we started studying James Fraser, because we started studying the history of where our country came from. And then we noticed a lot of these things look very, very familiar if you've ever studied the Golden Bough. And Harvey straight up says that he was reading that when he came up with the idea for this thing. Level and the bringing about of this new digital age for humanity, this new.
Oh, guys, I got a fumble. Got two more clips from that I think are relevant. I don't know. You guys can argue the facts. Look up the London Olympic opening ceremony and fast forward 55 minutes in. And you guys can drop that clip off in the Reaper's Hall. I want to dip in there. What is the tweet? The tweet they mentioned in the video. It's in there. Who we are video, actually, where they did, like, they asked on Twitter for rumors we had heard about them. And I said only the Jesuit thing, and then they take it in their video to imply that I said they were Jesuit assassins, which was a clear message to me that they are assassins, and they were using my thing to tell us all.
You're crushing me, people. You're crushing me. I'm big, but I'm not that big.
And now, back to the clips I found for that thing. Not that one, this one.
On the symbolic level, it's weirdly that such a scorched desert, dry, dead,
lifeless
remote,
place, yeah.
lifeless place would be flooded with water, source of life, at the exact time that they have a specific phoenix burning death and rebirth ritual. I mean, in fairness, the burning man is a form of death and rebirth ritual that they do every year, but this year has a specific, unique, special ritual pertaining to the Ukrainian war. Out of there.
The Ukrainian rituals of the burn and the temple actually replaced the American rituals of the burn and the temple.
Exactly.
Essentially. So, and they did it here. Again, they did it here. They didn't do it in Ukraine. This wasn't done somewhere else. It was done on the soil here, on the ground here. It's a little over the top. It's a little over the top for anyone who's even half paying attention. They're putting all of this out there in a way that's pretty blatant, even for people who don't believe symbolism is important anymore. I mean, it's...
I think their new video is awesome. Baba Wanyama nails all the points. I say is why can't what's the corners angle on these topics, boys? And this public ritual thing, right? It's the important thing to know about it is this recession of modernity we're experiencing is a recession of the veil of the modernity. Like you're a bride at the blue church and the veil is coming off and you're seeing that like underneath the mythology and the symbolism has always been there. It's just they poo-poo your attention to it because they're using it. Like, might I remind you, Nancy Reagan had an astrologer? I mean, idolaters are gonna idolate, as McMo shares with the hive mind. Now let's see. He says he may be too cynical. I may be too cynical, but these grand secret narratives tickle the same neural pathway as prawn, and for that reason, I'm resistant to believing it's real. Whoa! My biggest concern there is that these secret narratives are tickling the same neural pathways. I mean, that's kind of awkward, man. That's kind of awkward. But speaking of weaponized pornography to emasculate the what? No, we weren't. We weren't at all. What? Do you know any parents that can go to PTA meetings? Because there's some fishy. Oh wait, but public rituals. Like for me, as you can find elsewhere on this channel, I experienced one myself with the singing of the national anthem at this year's Super Bowl, and there's more to it, and is watching Game of Thrones with everybody else a public ritual? I don't know. What do you think about public rituals? What should we all know? Why don't you cast a magic missile?
I'm attacking the darkness.
And the darkness of our ignorance in the comment section of today's video, because man, I'm jealous of PVK's comment section.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
I only ask because that's how you get in the shadow cabal of production executives, which I thank heartily for making this and all episodes possible. Don't forget the dream catcher of optimal grip.